Heather Clancy with GreenFin, and I am back at the Sidebar with Nili Gilbert. Quite a title she's got: Vice Chairwoman, Carbon Direct, and Chair of the Advisory Panel for the Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero. Two great organizations. Nili, thank you for joining us here at Sidebar.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm like fangirling because I was like, oh my God, Carbon Direct. I've wanted to know more about them for a long time. I cover climate tech. So exciting. Can you tell us a little bit more about your company and the types of organizations you're investing in? I know of two couples, Svante, Carbon Cure. I think that's how you pronounce Svante. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit more about them and your investing philosophy for Carbon Direct.
Well, thanks so much for asking. I joined Carbon Direct because I was also such a fangirl of this work because of the need that we have, not only for decarbonizing the old economy that we have, but for building the new green economy that we need. At Carbon Direct Capital Management, we're focused on investing across 5 key pillars. It's carbon capture, utilization, carbon removal, green hydrogen, and sustainable aviation fuel. And when you think about the inflections going on in the space right now, with so many companies making net zero pledges and needing to identify the technologies to drive that, and then think about also changes in policy support for carbon management, it's a really exciting time not only for impact, but also for investors to be able to get involved in a mission-aligned way, in a way that also supports their long-term fiduciary duty for managing risk-adjusted returns.
Yeah. So many of the companies that you're investing in are the ones that are kind of showing up as part of the carbon removal offset marketplace. So like there's a new, lots of people talk about carbon offsets and they're usually talking about trees or something like that. But the technologies that we really need to pull it out of the air and to draw it down really need our support. And you're part of the First Movers Coalition as well. So tell us a little bit more about the First Movers Coalition and what your work is with them.
Well, Carbon Direct is really excited to be named as an implementation partner for the First Movers Coalition, specifically because of the expertise that we have in engineered carbon removals, which importantly are also durable long-term removals.
Yeah.
Trees are also important, but they manage removals maybe for a period of 50 to 100 years, whereas on the engineered side, we're talking about 1,000+ year storage, which is much needed. I also like to think about it through the math of the carbon budget itself. We know that we're going to have to remove about 10 gigatons of carbon to be able to achieve net zero, according to the IPCC. And I look at studies from climate scientists who suggest that if we properly manage nature, nature can manage 2 to 4 gigatons of that. So the scale of engineered carbon removals that we have ahead of us is huge. The opportunity is huge. And it's great to see partners like those in the First Movers Coalition, which now represents companies covering over 10% of global market cap, and governments covering over 50% of global GDP, coming together in coalition to figure out public-private partnership to scale this and the other industries that represent 30% of hard-to-abate emissions around the world.
Okay. Now, we're going to be hearing from you on the main stage shortly, talking about GFANZ, one of my favorite acronyms. Tell us a little bit about the alliance and the progress that you've made. I guess about, we're not even a year old, but what's the progress looking like?
Well, we've been working hard at GFANZ ever since COP26, where we were so proud to announce a significant amount of pledges from across the finance sector. At that time, over 450 institutions, now many more. And we've been working now on the details of implementation and getting really specific about how finance sector pledges can focus on driving emissions reductions to net zero in the real economy. So it's not just portfolio rebalancing, but figuring out how to align our portfolios and balance sheets with the science-based pathways that we have ahead of us. I hope that the viewers and listeners will turn attention to the raft of publications that GFANZ put out just a couple of weeks ago, focused on topics like what does a high ambition financial institution transition plan look like? How do we think about sector specific pathways within that? How do we manage the phase out of high emitting assets in our balance sheets, not just trade our way out of them? And topics like this, we'll continue to publish and share with the market our views going into COP27 and beyond.
Well, thank you for that. We're going to hear more in a little while, I know. But Nili, thank you so much for joining us here at the Sidebar.
What a pleasure. Thank you.
Back to you for another break and another interview shortly.